Good evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. In the booth with me tonight, as always, is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. We are live tonight from the Cedar Lake Speedway with the Short Track Rivals Racing Open Pro Late Models. This is going to be the first race of the brand new 8-week season for these fellas. And we have, I believe, 42 or so cars entered in here tonight. So a big slate of racing again, just like we had Tuesday night with STRR. Expect more of the same from Cedar Lake. See some cars working some more practice laps in. We just got about a minute or so left of this practice session, and we're going to roll right into qualifying. Top of the board is going to be Blade Wisdom in the 30 machine, and Jordan Tucker. They both have ran a 1292. Third and fourth at a 1294. That's going to be Brennan White and Blake Steele. Fifth is going to be Michael Stenroos in the 09 at a 1295. I mean, our top 10's only separated by a little over a tenth of a second, so really close lap times here so far. Well, Tim, the bit of the practice session that we've seen just from watching here, anything jumping out to you right away?
Just how quick this track slicked over. We came in. It looked pretty tacky. It was extremely tacky. Well, these drivers certainly slicked it up.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like an ice rink out there. It's definitely slicked off, so we'll see what happens to the track state as we go into the qualifying and heat races. I'm sure it will be farmed some by the admins because I'm sure they've kept a close eye on the track state through this practice session. We see the practice session wrap up. 5 minutes is on the clock for these drivers to head out here. We're looking at the 777 machine of Eric Hudson. He takes to the racetrack for his qualifying effort. They got a couple laps here. He starts lap number 1. And you can see the track state has changed, so the admins have worked the racetrack before the start of qualifying. Lap number 1 for Eric Hudson is going to be second quick so far at a 14:46. You're to see many lap times on the left-hand side of the screen. Scroll across. Lap 2 for the 777 is going to be a pickup, a 14:06 for his second lap. Blade Wisdom, we saw he was at the top of the practice charts. He's out for his qualifying effort, just starting, I believe, his first lap. That he is. We'll see what he runs here on lap number 1. Across the line, and he's going to be 19 quick with a 13:85. 13:85 on lap number 1. Lap 2 for Blade is better, a 13:53, 10th quick so far. Brennan White just went to the top of the timing board at a 13:34. And a couple other cars, Cody Nevin and Brandon Barnard also there with a 13:34. Juan Martinez now in the 43 machine. He's starting his qualifying run. As he comes across here to complete lap number 1, Juan Martinez. At least so I thought. He must have brushed the wall because the lap did not count.
Landon Newman shot to the top of the board.
Lap 2 complete for 1. That's good for a 13:97, 35th quick of the 37 cars. Blake Steele's on the racetrack, just about to complete his first lap. He comes across at a 13:92, good for 37th quick. Across the line, lap 2. He did pick up 13:85, but still good for 37th. Ethan Bowers, that's a car that just finished up his second lap. He's 8th quick at a 13:46. Let's check out the 88 machine of Travis McDonald. He's on the racetrack. A little bit of struggles here for Travis. Out of turn 2 and down the back. Coming across the line for lap number 1. That was a 14:45. Good for 41st. Lap number 2. See if he picks up any on lap 2. I think he brushed the wall and it didn't count. Dawson Tone's on the racetrack for his qualifying effort. Again, if you're tuning in here on the Buckeye Racing Network, we sure appreciate it. If you like what you see here, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Let us know who you're cheering for in the chat as well. Dawson Tone, lap 1 was a 13:76, good for 32nd quick. Lap 2, did he pick up? He does. 13:64, moves up to 22nd on the board. 42 cars have put in a time so far. As qualifying comes to a wrap, and I think that was the 42 we were talking about earlier, so we're going to roll right into tonight's heat racing action. All right, Landon Newman's going to get credited with your quick time tonight at a 13:32. All right, the starting lineup of heat number 1 looks like this. Row number 1 in the 133 is going to be Landon Newman and the 58 of Damian Sage. Row 2 is going to be the 91 of Jacob Folds and Clayton Kluel in the 6. Row 3 is going to be Thaddeus Marshall in the 4 and Caleb York in the 83. Row 4 is going to be Dustin Seiler in the 132 and Blake Bailey in the 11. Row 5 is going to be Zachary Rogers in the 12 and Jordan Tucker in the 66. Shotgun starter of the heat's going to be Christopher Fussell in the 37. "11 cars are starting, 8 laps the distance here in this first heat race. They're fighting for 4 transfer spots. Tim, if you'll double check for me, how many total heats do we have here this evening?
We have a total of, looks like 4 heats, and we're gonna have a D main, a C main, and a B main.
All right.
And obviously the feature.
Yeah, so again, a big slate of racing upcoming here from the Cedar Lake Speedway with the Short Track Rivals Racing Pro Late Models. Drivers getting antsy and ready to roll here to get this first heat underway. Pace truck is starting to roll. Again, through this first heat race, we are going to keep watch for that transfer position. That's going to be the 4th place car. We are going to keep a watch on that battle. I'm sure it will be fierce here. These drivers do not want to have to deal with working their way through any of the consolation races and want to be able to focus on the feature race just a little later on. 2 by 2 by 2. From looking out here, a lot of wonderful wraps on these machines here tonight. Pace truck's going to peel off. Landon Newman stands on the gas. Green flag goes in the air for Heat 1 here tonight, and he's off to a great start down into turn 1 and 2. Damian Sage, Jacob Folds right behind him. The battle is on. Clayton Kluel, Thaddeus Marshall there side by side as they race through turns 3 and 4.
3 wide in the back. Wow, still 3 wide going into 1.
One car way up the racetrack. I believe that was the 83 of Caleb York. Everybody's still going. Dustin Seiler made a late start, unfortunately. He's tailing the field right now. First, second, third, and fourth is all out single file. Fourth is held by Thaddeus Marshall. Clayton Kluel, Blake Bailey, Zach Rogers, Caleb York, all right there together. Uh-oh, a little bit of contact there. Thaddeus Marshall, I think, brushed the outside wall exiting turn 2. And Blake Bailey is around the outside, or Clayton Kluel, excuse me, is around the outside of him coming out of turn 4. Marshall's in trouble here sliding back.
Oh!
One car, 2 cars around backwards there, entering turn 3. That is going to bring out the yellow flag here. We'll go back and see exactly what happened to those fellas. Oh, we can already see the 15 machine with damage. It looks like he got up into the outside wall on his own and hurt that race car. Unfortunate there for Christopher Fussell. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Zach Rogers here in the 12. He was battling side by side with the 83, and he just made contact with the 15 there. Had nowhere to go. That car get pretty heavy damage there on the 12 machine of Zach Rogers. So Thaddeus Marshall, Zach Rogers, and Christopher Fussell's in the pit lane taking repair. Just a few laps to go here in this first heat. Right now, your top 4 is Landon Newman, Damian Sage, Jacob Folds, and Clayton Kluel. Back underway here for the restart. Landon Newman, a wonderful start. Damian Sage, Jacob Folds, Clayton Kluel, all right together there, second, third, and fourth. Blake Bailey's looking to the inside of Clayton here as they take the white flag. One more time around in this first heat. Contact. 3, 4 wide out of turn 2. Side by side between Jacob Folds and Clayton Kluel. And across the line, Landon Newman wins the first heat. Damian Sage second, Jacob Folds third, and Clayton Kluel, your fourth and final transfer car. Jordan Tucker fifth, Caleb York sixth, and Blake Bailey in seventh across the line. I believe we're wrapping up that first heat here. Cars are taking the grid behind the pace truck to start heat number 2. Row number 1 is going to be Brennan White in the 707 and Michael Stenroos in the 09. Row 2, Nate Walker in the 8, Tanner Whitmire in the 101. Row 3 is going to be Ryder English in the 96 and Dawson Tone in the 24. Row 4 is going to be Cameron Tucker in the 53 and Jesse Barnett in the 93. Row 5 is going to be Mike Cron in the 31 and Blake Steele in the 13. Shotgun start is going to be Travis McDonald in the 88. Field again is 2 by 2. Eight laps the distance. Top 4 transfer directly to the A main. Pace truck is going to peel off this time. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway here in heat number 2. Nate Walker, Michael Stenroos side by side for second.
Bump drafting all the way down the backstretch from, I believe it was Tanner Whitmore, all over the 9G machine of Michael.
Yeah, we did catch that there. It did look like his car shot out of a rocket around the outside there on lap number 1. That was good enough to boost him into third. Nate Walker's in fourth. Got to hold that position to transfer right on. Dawson Tones currently in fifth, looking to hunt down Nate Walker in that 8 machine. Oh, contact. Nate Walker and Blake Steele, I believe. Or no, that was Ryder English. Excuse me, out of turn 2. Top 4's looking to gap the rest of the field as they're kind of putting a little distance between themselves in 5th on back. Brennan White in the 707 still leads the way. Already 2.5 laps to go. Michael Stenroos comfortably in second. Tanner Whitmire, looking to the inside. I believe actually Nate Walker's on the outside making the pass. And he does clear Tanner Whitmire. Tanner's hitting the tires on the bottom. Got to be careful. Blake Steele's coming with a head of steam around the outside. White flag is in the air. We're going to have a battle for the transfer, I believe, as we come to the checkered flag. Brennan White's going to win the heat, and we're going to watch this battle for the transfer. Blake Steele is going to take the position and move Tanner Whitmire out of the transfer position. Brennan White wins the second heat, though. What a battle at the line for the transfer. All right, the third heat is gritting up behind the pace truck. Row number 1 is going to be the 011 of Cody Nevin and the 70 of Davin Cardwell. Row 2 is going to be the 30 of Blade Wisdom and the 43 of Juan Martinez. Row 3 is going to be Jaden Rager in the 28 and Troy Dissong in the 21. Row 4 is going to be Hunter McManus in the 07 and Ty Dickinson in the 67. Row 5 is going to be Landon Norton in the 22 and Casey Miracle in the 44. Awesome racing so far in the first 2 heats. 2 more heats to go, and then we have some consolation races coming up for you. Davin Cardwell, Cody Nevin, Blade Wisdom, Juan Martinez, your top 4, and they hope to stay that way for these 8 laps. While Blade Wisdom, Jaden Rager, Troy Dissong, Hunter McManus, Ty Dickinson, Landon Norton, and Casey Miracle are going to try to battle their way in. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. We're underway here in heat number 3. Battle is on for second. Davin Cardwell, Blade Wisdom down on the bottom, side by side. Blade Wisdom's going to prevail. Cardwell slots back to third. Martinez is in fourth. Contact and a car around sideways towards the back. That's going to be the 21 machine of Troy Dissong. We'll see exactly what happened to Troy. Keep an eye on that white 21 machine, Ariat on the hood. Contact into 3. More contact. The car jumps sideways. He makes contact with the 44 of Casey Miracle. Both cars spin around backwards on the front straightaway, bringing the yellow flag out. and some damage to both machines, so hopefully they're able to continue without too much of an issue. Looks like they are able to rejoin the field, but we'll have to see if the damage hinders the remaining laps here in this third heat. Lights go out on the pace truck. Field goes double file for the restart. Cody Nevin is away, and green flag back in the air. Blade Wisdom's going to follow him around the outside through turn 1 and 2. Juan Martinez right on his tail tank there as well. The 70 of Davin Cardwell is working the bottom, trying to see if he can make up any ground down there. He started on the inside, so he's just playing the hand he is dealt. I think he might try to slot up behind Juan Martinez, and does through turns 3 and 4.
Here comes Hunter McManus looking to steal that 4th place position.
White flag's in the air. Here comes Cody Nevin rounding out a turn 4 to the checkered flag. Cody Nevin wins this third heat. Blade Wisdom is second, Juan Martinez third, and Davin Cardwell, your 4th and final transfer car out of this third heat. This is the 4th and final heat gridding up. Row 1's going to be Brandon Barnhart in the 36 and Ethan Bowers in the 00. Row 2 is going to be Jordan Dye in the 29 and Matt Taylor in the 15. Row 3 is going to be David Cannon in the 81 and Dusty Roberts in the 23. Row 4 is going to be Landon Curran in the 87 and Cody McDonald in the 45. And row 5 is going to be Brody Duche in the 9 and Eric Hudson in the 777. Eight laps the distance, 10 cars vying for 4 spots. Field's going to get the 1 to go signal here this time. Is there 2 by 2 by 2? Tim, I think you'll bring us to green this time.
You think? I certainly will. Brandon Barnhart is the control car, and he's away. Great launch out of the start. You got Ethan right up behind him. Someone had trouble on the inside line. I believe that is Jordan Dye. Had trouble getting into the turn. He now slots back into 4th as he runs the high side 3 wide for 4th with Landon and David. Still 3 wide. They sorted out. Jordan Dye still holding that 4th spot. Landon Curran had it for a slight moment. Oh, we have a slide. Ethan Bowers slid up to the lead as he receives one right back from Brandon Barnhart for the lead. Dead even at the line. They're going back and forth with the sliders on each other. Wow.
What a battle.
Crossovers.
One's turned around backwards in towards the rear of the field. Believe that was Jordan Dye. That is what brings out the yellow here. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened to Jordan. He's that black and red machine running the outside. The 87 comes across his nose out of turn 2. Jordan goes into the third turn and just hits the tires, upsets the car, and he gets spun around and stopped on the low side of turn 3. That was enough to bring out the yellow flag. Car's able to continue though, but he's going to be at the tail, and he's going to have to make up 6 spots in a hurry to transfer. And to your point, man, we had a barn burner going there for the lead. Slider after slider on each turn, it seemed like, Tim.
Yeah, crossover as well. I mean, just these drivers are on the offense. I can tell you that.
There's no doubt about that. Already 2 by 2 by 2. Matt Taylor's now in the 4th spot. He's got to hold on. Or actually, no, that is the 87 of Landon Curran. Brandon Barnhart hits the gas. We're back underway. 2 laps to go. Ethan Bauer is right behind him.
Landon Curran missed the turn in turn 1. Hit head on into the pit wall.
White flag is in the air. The battle is on for the final transfer. The 81's holding on. Here's the 28 of, I believe that's Cody McDonald. Oh, there's contact between those two. And I think the 23 is going to get the final transfer from those two guys battling. And they are still hitting each other after the checkered flag. So Dusty Roberts steals the final transfer spot. Brandon Barnhart wins there. Wow, that was wild. And I think we got a couple drivers upset with one another there. This is going to be which main? The D, Tim?
This is the D main. The top 6 will make it.
6 drivers will make it from the D main. Row 1 is going to be Troy DeSong in the 21 and Landon Curran in the 87. Row 2 is going to be Zachary Rogers in the 12 and Jesse Barnett in the 93. Row 3 is going to be Jaden Rager in the 28 and Jordan Dye in the 29. Row 4 is going to be Christopher Fussell in the 37 and Travis McDonald in the 88. "12 laps the distance, and we're taking the top 6. And the top 6 are going to take to the tail of what would be the C main. Correct, Tim?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so 2 drivers are going to be loading their car up in the hauler if they don't finish in the top 6. So 12 laps the distance here for this D main, so a few extra laps from what we were running there in the heats. Pace truck is away. Green flag is in the air for the D main. Troy DeSong down into turn 1. Landon Curran around the outside trying to get to his right rear. Almost does out of turn 2. Zachary Rogers on the inside trying to steal the lead away while those 2 drivers were battling. 3 wide down into turn 1. Jaden Rager's right behind it watching it all. Still 3 wide. What a battle for the race lead. Curran now slides into first. Side by side is Troy DeSong and Zach Rogers. Man, they are battling hard. Jaden Rager here in 4th. Jordan Dye 5th.
Oh, no.
Oh, the 21 turns around sideways, hits the outside wall. That is going to bring the yellow flag out. Troy DeSong in the 21 machine. I mean, there was plenty of contact there between our leaders. That car kind of got sideways. The 23 jacks him up getting into turn 3. He has to check up for the 12. And just a domino effect for Troy there into turn 3. Unfortunate for him. He had a rough heat as well with damage. Now he's got similar damage on that race car. The left front is bent up just a bit. Top 6, Landon Curran, Zachary Rogers, Jaden Rager, Jordan Dye, Jesse Barnett, and Travis McDonald in the 88. On the outside looking in is going to be Christopher Fussell in the 37 and Troy DeSong in the 21. And we'll be curious, though, Tim, if we will have any rulings from the admins at the end of that 4th heat race with what happened after the checkered flag.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. I believe someone got called to the hauler. That's for sure.
Right, I think you're right. Field doubles back up. Oh, be careful. Almost jumped the restart there, that 23 car, but we're back underway. Landon Curran to the inside and the lead. Zachary Rogers is in second. Jaden Rager, the car that almost jumped the restart, finds himself comfortably in third. Jordan Dye there in fourth, looking to the inside. Not quite out of turn 2. Jesse Barnett's fifth. Troy DeSong is sixth with damage, and Christopher Fussell tails the field in seventh. Travis McDonald is in the pit lane. Landon Curran trying to gap the rest of the field. He's doing just that, out to 0.6 of a second over Zach Rogers and company. 2 laps to go. Oh, really close there for second, third, and fourth. 3 wide through turn 1 and 2.
Wow.
Landon Curran makes his way out of turn 4 to the checkered flag and wins the D main. Zachary Rogers second, Jaden Rager third, Jordan Dye fourth, Jesse Barnett fifth, and Troy DeSong, your sixth and final transfer car. Christopher Fussell and Travis McDonald not going to continue this evening. Those 2 drivers are going to be going home. This is the starting lineup for the C main. Row 1 is going to be the 81 of David Cannon and Dustin Seiler in the 132. Row 2 is going to be Cameron Tucker in the 53 and Ty Dickinson in the 67. Row 3 is going to be Eric Hudson in the 777 and Thaddeus Marshall in the 4. Row 4 is going to be Mike Cron in the 31 and Landon Curran in the 87. Row 5 is going to be Zachary Rogers in the 12 and Jaden Rager in the 28. Row 6 is going to be Jordan Dye in the 29 and Jesse Barnett in the 93. Our 13th and final starter of the C main is going to be Troy DeSong in the 21. "15 laps of distance here in the C main, and we are going to take how many, Tim?
We are taking 6 from this C main that'll go into the B main.
6 cars will transfer to the B main. Quick check of the chat. Dusty Roberts chiming in. Doing wonderful up here in the booth, Dusty. What a finish there in your heat race just a minute ago. Pace truck makes his way off the racetrack. Green flag goes in the air. 15 laps of distance here for the C main. David Cannon, Dustin Seiler, nose to tail around the outside. Cameron Tucker around the inside. He's going to slide up right in front of Seiler. Now 3 wide, the 67 of Ty Dickinson on the inside. A couple of cars off the racetrack. They're out of turn 4. I believe Jesse Barnett was one of them involved. He's the 93 car. There you see with the blue wheel covers. Not anything too crazy. Your cars just kind of got sideways, and he ended up down in the grass. I don't think with any major damage, and it was enough to bring the yellow flag out.
Yeah, perhaps a quick pull, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to make sure everybody has a fair shot here. I mean, 6th place currently is held by the 28 machine of Jaden Rager. I know it shows 23 on the racetrack. My time in his scoring shows 28, so a little bit of a mix-up there. Both him and Landon Curran came from the D main, so they're in a transfer spot as of right now. Something to definitely keep an eye on as we inch our way closer to the checkered flag of this C main. David Ale cannon fires off. Green flag back in the air for the restart. Dustin Seiler, Cameron Tucker side by side for second. And the 87 of Landon Curran was right on his rear bumper as they worked their way through turn 1 and 2. Oh no, the 67 got turned around backwards there and brings the yellow flag out. That's Ty Dickinson.
Oh, big damage to that 67 machine.
Yes, it is. Jordan Dye also was involved in this recent yellow. We'll see exactly what happened to his car. Oh, he just had nowhere to go. The 777 got damaged. The 67 got damaged. Jordan Dye in the 29 gets damaged. Quite a few cars. So far, the biggest movers here in the C main. Jaden Rager up 5 positions. Troy DeSong in the 21 is up 4 spots. He's slowly trying to inch his way to that 6th place position to transfer to the B main. Green flag goes back in the air for the restart. Cannon, Seiler, Tucker, your top 3. Tucker still working the inside, trying to get second from Seiler. Jaden Rager up into the outside wall there. Everybody's able to continue. Landon Curran in 5th. Now 6th. As Thaddeus Marshall on the inside. Uh-oh, the 132, big trouble. Dustin Seiler, big trouble, and big damage to Jaden Rager, and we have a tire bouncing through turn 3 and 4. That is the right front, off of Jaden Rager's machine. Big time damage. We'll see exactly what happened to Jaden. We'll keep an eye on the white and red machine. Oh, the 132 and the 53 made contact. The 132 gets turned around sideways in the outside wall. The 23, I think, may have lost steering down into 3 and 4. Makes hard impact with the concrete wall there in the middle of 3 and 4, and it knocks the right front suspension right off of that car. You can see the tire there bouncing up near the outside wall. The 67 gets clipped with a little more damage. The 777, there's the 132. They gathered it back in to keep going. My goodness, unfortunate for Jaden Rager. He was in a transfer spot at the moment of that caution, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue here. As we're already about to go back to green flag racing, David Cannon gets back on the gas. Just 2 more laps to go in this C main. Cameron Tucker, Landon Curran, Thaddeus Marshall. Troy DeSong now in a transfer spot in 5th. And Mike Craw there in 6th. Hoping to hold on. He brushes the outside wall. White flag goes in the air.
Jordan Dye looking to make a comeback.
He almost clears him. Got to be careful into 3.
Watch out for that. Watch out for Ty.
Across the line, Jordan Dye is going to squeak out the 6th transfer spot. David Cannon wins the C. Cameron Tucker 2nd, Thaddeus Marshall 3rd, Landon Curran 4th, Troy DeSong 5th. All those fellows are going to move on to this B main, which is gritting up right now. Row number 1 is going to be Jordan Tucker in the 66 and Tanner Whitmire in the 101. Row 2 is going to be Hunter McManus in the 07 and Cody McDonald in the 45. Row 3 is going to be Caleb York in the 83 and Dawson Tone in the 24. Row 4 is going to be Landon Norton in the 22 and Brody Duche in the 9. Row 5 is going to be Blake Bailey in the 11 and Ryder English in the 96. Row 6 is going to be Casey Miracle in the 44 and David Cannon in the 81. Row 7 is going to be Cameron Tucker in the 53 and Thaddeus Marshall in the 4. Row 8, Landon Curran in the 87, Troy DeSong in the 21. And the 8th row, single starter, Jordan Dye in the 29. So I'll have to keep an eye on those guys. And a couple of them, like Landon Curran and Jordan Dye, Troy DeSong, those are transferees from the D main. So we got some Team MDM fans in the chat. Always appreciate the comments from the fans out there on who they're keeping their eye on. 17 laps, or 18 laps the distance maybe, and we're taking how many from the B here, Tim?
We're taking 8.
8 cars. Ryder English is on the bubble back there. The 66 of Jordan Tucker hits the gas. Green flag goes in the air to start this B main. Hunter McManus into 2nd. The battle is on for 3rd on back. Cody McDonald, Caleb York, Dawson Tone, all right together. The 22 of Landon Norton, contact with Ryder English there right behind him. That is right on your 8th place position in the transfer line. Contact right below them. That's Thaddeus Marshall. Oh, big time checkup and cars around, sideways, backwards.
Oh, there's a couple different wrecks that happen, it looks like.
I think you're right. We're going to have to try to decipher this. I believe it's started initially maybe with the 24 machine of Dawson Tone. He's the black and red car on the outside. You see him get down into turn 3. The 66 started the chain reaction to the 83, the 28, the 24, the 96, all getting together because of the 66 sideways in turns in the middle of the turn. The 4 also getting some damage. You see the 21 of Troy DeSong working his way around the outside. The 44 also. Jordan Dye trying to get around, and Dawson Tone, the car started rolling backwards, and Jordan Dye making contact there. The 53, you see he's got big left front damage as well. As we're already double file, Tanner Whitmire, I think, has called it a night. Thaddeus Marshall's currently coming out of the pit lane, so hopefully he got the damage repaired on that car. Green flag back in the air for the restart. Now 13 laps to go. McManus, Tucker, and Duche, your top 3. Side by side and tight out of turn 2. Caleb York around the outside trying to make some hay on the top side of the racetrack.
Landon all the way around the outside, 3 wide.
It's still 3 wide right around the transfer spot. A little contact with the 28 and a 21. My goodness, there's
4 or 5 wide.
the 81 car goes around backwards. big hit there. Dawson Tone in the 24. Sheet metal body parts flying off of these machines. Wow, I mean, these drivers are just fighting for every inch on this racetrack. Keep an eye on Caleb York in the 83. You see, he gets turned to the right. He hits the 87. That was part of the accident. Let's take a look at Jordan Dye. You see him on the inside. He sees the 81 get turned around. He's trying to miss it. He's got the wheel turn. He makes more contact. Trevor Doyle nowhere to go. He hits the 81 some more. So big time hits there entering turn 1. More damage there after the yellow flag was out. The 83 and the 29 get together once more. Pace lights go out. Keep in mind that 8th spot, that's held by Cameron Tucker at the moment. Hunter McManus fires. Green flag goes back in the air. Now 7 laps remaining. Well, let's go back and look at the transfer battle. Cameron Tucker has it for the moment. Casey Miracle right behind, looking to make up some ground. Casey's working the outside part of the racetrack. Side by side, right up ahead for second. Landon Norton. Oh my goodness, the 20.
Nowhere to go.
The 21 was in the grass, as you saw at the bottom of that camera shot there. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that. That was Troy DeSong. There's a 21 machine. There he is on the bottom. Keep an eye out at turn 2. He makes contact with the 28. That sends his car down into the grass. Overcorrects the car. He turns right into the 53, the 44. Nowhere to go. Big damage to the 53. The 11 with some damage as well. More damage to the 21. My goodness. Craziness here in this B main. Here we come to the restart. Just going to be a couple laps to go, a couple laps shootout here in this B main. Green flag back in the air. McManus, Norton, Duche, McDonald. Landon Curran there on the inside. David Cannon. Casey Miracle right there in 8th. White flag goes in the air. What a fight for the transfer. The 81 machine holds it. He's going to get the bumper from the 96.
Oh, man.
And at the line, Casey Miracle is going to finish 8th. Hunter McManus wins the B main. Landon Norton, Landon Curran, Brody Duche. Wow, that was crazy at the end of that. I mean, that was just absolute madness to finish that B main out.
If you could, go watch Blake Bailey. You don't got to go on board, but what a massive hit at the end. He went flipping all the way up to the moon, rotated about 20 times.
My goodness. In a minute, just to catch our breath here, as we got a quick 5-minute warm-up session for these drivers. that have made the feature. I believe we are going to have 24 cars for 30 laps. Damian Sage to the top of the board at a 12.97. As I say that, Davin Cardwell, a 12.93. Looks like the track has been worked a little bit before we start this A main. See some of the cars working their way around. Let's ride on board here. Damian Sage, this is the onboard camera to see what it's like to work around the Cedar Lake Speedway. As you saw, a little bit of havoc he had to work his way through there in the middle of 3 and 4, but he keeps back going. Definitely not a lot of off throttle time for these drivers. They're working the throttle and the steering wheel the whole way around Cedar Lake. Tim, we've seen the craziness so far in the other consolation races. Is that what we got to expect here in this A main coming up?
I wish I had the answers for you. I wish I had the answers. I expect really great racing. It looks like they're trying to make it so that there's multiple lanes for right now going in. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. These drivers are working in the racetrack quite a bit here, trying to make sure there's multiple grooves, like you said.
Well, we got a minute. Let's who are you gonna take for tonight?
You know, that's a great question. I'd have to look at the starting lineup for the main and get kind of refreshed with some of these drivers. We've seen so much action here tonight. I tell you what is a story, though, that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. The 87, that's Landon Curran. If I'm not mistaken, he was a starter in our D main, which was our first consolation race. And he has worked his way into this A main, so it'll be interesting to just kind of keep an eye on his movement in this 30-lap feature.
Looks like the only one who came all the way from the D all the way through.
And, for you folks watching right along with us, let us know who you think is going to take home the checkered flag here tonight at Cedar Lake. Cars are taking the grid behind the pace truck. On the front row for our 30-lap feature event is going to be Landon Newman in the 133 and Brendan White in the 707. Row 2 is going to be Cody Nevin in the 011 and Brandon Barnhart in the 36. Row 3 is going to be Damian Sage in the 58, and Michael Stenroos in the 09. Row 4 is going to be Blade Wisdom in the 30 and Ethan Bowers in the 00. Row 5 is going to be Jacob Folds in the 91 and Nate Walker in the 8. Row 6 is going to be Juan Martinez in the 43 and Matt Taylor in the 15. Row 7 is going to be Clayton Kluel in the 6 and Blake Steele in the 13. Row 8 is going to be Davin Cardwell in the 70 and Dusty Roberts in the 23. Row 9 is going to be Hunter McManus in the 07 and Landon Norton in the 22. Row 10 is going to be Landon Curran in the 87 and Brody Duche in the 9. Row 11 is going to be Cody McDonald in the 45 and Caleb York in the 83. And row 12, our final row, is going to be Ryder English in the 96 and Casey Miracle in the 44. Ryder English currently in the pits. I think they missed the start, so we'll have to start from the pit lane here. Pace truck peels away. We're ready to rock and roll here from Cedar Lake Speedway for 30 laps. Green flag in the air for the feature. Landon Newman, Cody Nevin, Brennan White, your top 3, and they are side by side about 5 or 6 rows deep out of turn number 2. Early yellow flag here. I'm not sure what happened, but I think maybe Brody Duche in the 9 machine. Here we are taking the green. He's up top, accordion effect. The car goes around backwards. The 83, the 22, the 44, all ends up with damage there out of turn number 2, unfortunately. Some heavy damage to some of those cars as well.
I believe there is a hard charger award for tonight as well. I'm not sure what the award is, but I do know there is a hard charger award.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. That's another storyline to follow along with. And if the race was to end right now, that would go to the 45 machine of Cody McDonald, as he is up 3 spots so far. Green flag back in the air, and we're back underway here at Cedar Lake. Landon Newman still out front. Big run there by Cody Nevin in the 011 machine on the inside, and they're going to be side by side at the line. Here as we're just getting to lap number 3. Brandon Barnhart 3rd, Damian Sage 4th, Michael Stenroos battling there for 5th. Side by side in the, I think that was the 707 that was struggling just a bit around the outside. Uh-oh, be careful, the 22 hard into the outside wall in turn number 3. That is going to bring the yellow flag out. I believe that is Blade Wisdom in the 22. He was on the bottom. He just kind of gets hit in the right rear. The car doesn't turn. He makes huge contact with the outside wall. Nate Walker involved. Landon Curran involved. Duche involved in the 9. But heavy, heavy damage to Blade Wisdom there in the 22. Not sure if his car's going to be able to continue or not. Nate Walker in the same boat as him as well.
Trying to get it to turn.
Heavy, heavy damage. Quite a few. 4 cars are in the pit lane. Landon Norton, Blade Wisdom, Nate Walker, Casey Miracle, all in the pit lane taking some repair. But Cody Nevin was starting to make some moves there to get to the race lead. "20 cars still on the racetrack. We're still awaiting the 1 to go signal here. We do have it this time.
Take a look at that 96 machine of Ryder English. He's a plus 11. He is moved up 11 spots. I believe that is the only driver that has double-digit positions gained.
And it looks like it, Tim. So yeah, that is one of the storylines we were talking about earlier. Ryder English there in the 96. Up quite a few positions so far. We must have a bit of a scoring issue here. The field may come to a stop on the back straightaway as they're waiting to pick up the pace truck. I think
there was a wave around. They were trying to figure something out here.
But it looks like all 24 cars are back on the racetrack. So we are back to full strength here. Pace truck is away. Green flag back in the air. We're back racing at Cedar Lake. Brandon Barnhart down on the inside looking to get around Landon Newman there in the 133 machine. Not quite enough as they come out of turn 4, but Damian Sage, that opened the door for him to battle for third as he works around the outside. Still side by side for third. Cody Nevin looking to set sail over Landon Newman. Michael Stenroos trying to make it 3 wide out of turn 2 and will as they go down into 3 and through 4. He is making up a little ground down there on the bottom. Caution flag is back out. Going to keep an eye on Brennan White there in the white and purple machine. I believe that was Cody McDonald, makes contact with him getting into turn 3 and gets that car spun around, and he has heavy damage on the front and the rear. I think something's wrong with the rear axle in that car as well, as he dog tracks into the pit lane. So looks like he's going to be joined by a few others. Two by two for the restart. Pace truck is away. Cody Nevin on the gas, and we're back underway. Landon Newman looking on his outside as they work through turn 1 and 2. Damian Sage, Brandon Barnhart side by side for third and fourth. Ethan Bowers, Michael Stenroos. Oh, big contact. 58 of Damian Sage into the outside wall. Everybody's still going. We're going to remain green for the time being. 3 wide, Sage, Bowers, and Cardwell. Battles all throughout the Speedway. Go ahead, Tim.
Ryder looking to take advantage of that inside line, trying to get by these 2 drivers ahead of him, and Dusty Roberts and Matt Taylor.
Yeah, he's still so far our hardest charger, up 11, looking to make that 12 as he's on the inside. A quick check back up front. Cody Nevin has opened up over a second gap to Landon Newman. Michael Stenroos now finds himself in 3rd. Brandon Barnhart 4th. Ethan Bowers, Damian Sage battling for 5th. Now 3 wide for the 2nd out of turn 2. Davin Cardwell finds himself in 7th. Blake Steele 8th. 9th, Juan Martinez. 10th goes to Dusty Roberts. 11th is Landon Curran now in the 87. Matt Taylor, Blade Wisdom, and Ryder English. Cody Nevin is picking him up, putting him down. As I say that, caution flag displayed back in the air. We're going to take a look, see what happened. We're going to keep an eye on the 44 here of Casey Miracle. Working around the outside, out of turn 2, makes contact with the outside wall. The car spins around and the front end looks terminally damaged, and they add to tow back to the pit lane. Just 15 short laps. We are halfway home here tonight at Cedar Lake. Looks like Brody Duche has called it a night. Jacob Folds has called it a night. And Brennan White also has called it a night. Those drivers decided to put their cars on the hauler.
As of right now, it is a 3-way battle between 3 people on that hard charger award.
Yes, it is. Tim, do the honors and bring us back to the green flag.
Cody Nevin takes the green flag. Great launch as we have, that is Landon Newman as the chaser, as you have Michael Stenroos sliding up the track, 3 wide behind him. Contact made with the 58 and the 70 machine of Davin Cardwell and Damian Sage. As we go further back, you're still 3 wide for the 10th position. We're going to work our way back up here for the battle of the 2nd place battle with Landon Newman and Newman around.
Everybody narrowly avoids him as he came to a stop there on the low side of turn number 2, bringing the yellow flag out. We saw it all live. We just panned back up to that battle. And those cars made contact, and Newman's car came to a halt on the inside of turn number 2. Unfortunate there for Newman. He's going to lose quite a handful of positions there.
Great heads up driving by everyone, avoiding it and not causing another wreck.
Yeah, absolutely. That could have been catastrophe for some of the other drivers back through the field, but they were able to. Uh-oh. Do we have a little bit of a disagreement there for Newman? He drove his way back up to that 9 machine of Michael Stenroos. I think he voiced his displeasure. Stenroos, I'm not sure, did he get an EOL? Is he going to go back up and take his position?
Denver's had an EOL as they found him the cause of the incident. I believe that's what I'm hearing on the race control.
Nonetheless, green flag goes back in the air. 10 laps to go. Cody Nevin leads us back to the restart. Brandon Barnhart, Ethan Bowers, Davin Cardwell. Yellow's back in the air. Let's see exactly what happened. We're going to look at the 23 machine. That's Dusty Roberts. He was down on the inside. Gets some help from the 8 of Nate Walker. The car gets spun around and he came to a stop. I don't think there's any damage, so he's going to be able to continue, thankfully. But it was enough to bring the yellow flag out.
Man, oh man. Look at Ryder English, P7. Plus, I think that's 16. My scoring is cycling through, so I won't know for sure. It is a plus 16 as of right now.
Talk about a hard charge. I mean, Davin Cardwell, you know, we got to throw his name in there as well. He's up 11. So 2 great runs from those 2 drivers so far. We are within 10 laps to go. We are going to get a single file restart. Single file the rest of the way home if needed. Back to the green, Nevin, Barnhart, Bowers, your top 3. And as soon as we went green, the yellow flag came back in the air. Do we know what happened? Well, I'm trying to see. I don't know exactly what happened back here.
I think there was a miscommunication with Barry the Flagman and race control.
Ah, yeah, because I don't see any cars that got damage or anything like that, so. Looks like a waved off kind of restart there. Hopefully go back to green this time. Cody Nevin accelerates and we're back underway. Now 9 laps to go. Brandon Barnhart, Ethan Bowers, Davin Cardwell, and Blake Steele, your top 5. As we look behind them, Nate Walker down on the inside, trying to make some hay on the inside of Damian Sage. Right behind them, that's the car you've been talking about all feature long. That's the 96 of Ryder English, up 15 spots, looking to make it 16 here as he rounds out of turn number 4. Back up front, Cody Nevin out to a 1.4 second advantage. As soon as we say that, yellow flag quickly back in the air.
Blade Wisdom has lost the right front tire. Oh my.
Big damage car hits the concrete wall. He goes flipping, going for a wild ride in that 22 machine.
Oh my.
Big damage in a wild, violent accident into turn number 1 for Blade Wisdom.
Hope he doesn't have one of those direct drive wheels. Man, I don't want
Yeah.
to know. I don't know. I don't want to know what the feedback was like on that.
Yeah, and if you're watching at home and are unsure what we mean by a direct drive wheel, those wheels have quite a bit of force feedback, and an impact like that in the outside wall, that could have jerked the steering wheel out of his hands. Hopefully, Blade is just fine. But what a scary accident there into turn one. Single file once more. Field behind Cody Nevin. Pace truck accelerates to get off the racetrack. Cody Nevin brings us back to the restart. Side by side just for a moment. Bowers had a peek underneath Brandon Barnhart. Cardwell also looking. They're side by side for second. Bowers maybe trying the slider. Not quite there, out of turn two. Nevin starting to gap the rest of the field just a bit. 4 laps remaining.
Oh, wow. Extremely tight battle with Nate Walker, Ryder English, and Landon Norton for that 7th place position.
Oh, 3 cars battling for the second place spot. This all happening about 2 seconds behind Cody Nevin. 2 laps remaining here tonight. Ethan Bowers into second, Barnhart third, fourth is going to be Davin Cardwell. Blake Steele looked for a minute underneath Cardwell. White flag goes in the air for Cody Nevin. What an awesome feature for Cody. Led a lot of laps out of turn 4 and to the checkered flag. Race 1 winner is going to be Cody Nevin. Ethan Bowers is going to bring it home in second, and Blake Steele is going to steal it away from Cardwell for third. We'll get to talk to those top 3 in a few moments. The rest of the field crosses the line. We're going to get your final race results. See Cody, he's going to pull his car up into victory lane. That's one nice thing about Cedar Lake is the winner can park his car in victory lane. Second and third's going to sit there on the front straightaway for a picture. There's our top 3. Our final race results here for our Pro Late models. We've talked about our top 3 already. Davin Cardwell is going to get credited with 4th. Nate Walker 5th. Damian Sage 6th. Landon Norton in 7th. Brandon Barnhart 8th. Ryder English 9th. Cody McDonald in 10th. Michael Stenroos 11th. Matt Taylor 12th. Landon Curran 13th. Landon Newman 14th. Clayton Kluel 15th. Caleb York 16th. Blade Wisdom 17th. Hunter McManus 18th. 19th is going to go to Dusty Roberts, 20th to Juan Martinez, 21st to Casey Miracle, 22nd to Brody Duche, 23rd to Jacob Folds, and 24th is going to go to Brennan White. And real quick, before we get a word with our top 3, Ryder English in the 96 machine is going to bring home our Hard Charger Award, plus 14 spots. 20, I think, what is that? 23rd to 9th, Tim, it looks like. So, awesome run for Ryder there in the 96. Without further ado, let's bring in our third place finisher, Blake Steele, and get a word with him.
Yeah, that was 23rd to 9th, by the way.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, Blake, Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
All right, buddy. Well, you bring it home third. You were battling in the closing laps there. I believe that was with Cardwell to get on the podium position. How'd you manage to work your way around him?
When we went into 3, or when we was going down the back straightaway, they kind of got tangled up, and when they got tangled up, and I kind of seen him going through the infield, so kind of just closed my eyes and prayed.
I think sometimes you have to do that, but a nice run here for you, coming away with a third place finish, a solid points night. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, definitely. We buried ourselves in qualifying and had a good run in the heat race, set us up for a good start spot in the feature, and just kind of managed and stayed clean and made spots.
Absolutely. I think that's always the name of the game. Tim, you have anything to ask Blake?
Yeah, Blake. Well, you gained 11. You're tied for second with a couple other drivers. Plus 11. How tough was it to set up a pass and then complete the pass going throughout the race?
It it was pretty tough because we had a good racetrack and it moved around a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell, where you needed to be a lot of the times.
Yeah, absolutely. Drivers were definitely searching and hunting around to find the line they wanted to run for sure. Well, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I gotta thank EPI Elite Performance for the setups, Victory Fuel, uh, WR1 Sim Chassis, and Sweet Victory Apparel.
All right, Blake. Well, thanks for getting a word in with us here. And again, congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you.
That was Blake Steele. We'll move on now to our second place finisher, Mr. Ethan Bowers. Hey, Ethan, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
All righty, buddy. Will you bring that car home in second and had an awesome run going for you tonight? Ran there in the top 5 or so, most of the feature. Tell us about your night.
Oh well, just kind of missed the line in qualifying, and I think I qualified 8th and finished second in heat 4, and then we went 8th to second in heat in the main event. Just took my time, being patient. It's really key. You gotta have some racecraft. Be a little patient in these little bit of races because a lot of people will wreck out, and that's what I did. And just been patient, got up to second, and we'll take it second.
Absolutely. Tim, you have anything to ask Ethan?
Yeah, how was the track transition throughout the entire night for
It
you?
was, it was it was great for the feature. I mean, you can move around. I was running the top most of the race, try to get. Wasn't running behind anybody. I was trying to search wherever I can get faster and pass people. That's what you want to do when you get past people, just a different line than everybody else. So I was running the top, and I went switched to. I was like, it's like in my head, I was gonna bite me in the butt if I went to the middle, and I went to the middle on the last restart and got the second. So the middle worked out, and it was a racy racetrack.
Well, Ethan, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I don't think my team, Carolina Sin Sports, Campbell's Trailer Winter Service, Blazer Modeling, BNC Detailing, Carolina Speed Shop, asking for photography, Clements Racing Engines, Bauer Signs on Facebook, me for making an awesome rap, Future Race Tire, McMahon's Grading Company. Just everybody really helps on the race car, and you guys putting it on.
All right, Ethan. Well, thanks for getting a word in with us tonight. We'll let you celebrate your second place finish.
Thank you.
That was Ethan Bowers. All right, without further ado, we're going to get to talk to our race winner here tonight, Cody Nevin. Hey, Cody, Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Oh, just happy to be up in the booth and witness awesome racing here tonight. You put on a show, bringing home the victory here tonight at Cedar Lake. Tell us about your run.
Yeah, man, it's always good to bring home a victory. It's been a while since I've been up here, so I'm kind of nervous. But no, uh, it was a good race, man. We got lucky in qual. We went third quick and put us in the front row of a heat race and went from there. Track was pretty hammered down in the beginning. I thought the track transitioned pretty nice throughout the night. I was a little worried with the reset, but it actually ended up working out in our favor. Went out of the feature, being starting out front is good. Got around Landon. Landon went and tried to run the top one time. It didn't pan out for him, and we were just glued down to the middle bottom, so we were able to get around him and kind of just set sail from there.
Absolutely. You had a really good run. Once you got to the front, you never looked back for sure.
Yeah, there was I don't know what the gap was there for a while. I had the before the first caution come out, or maybe it was the second caution, but I was pretty checked out and I didn't want to see it. I was worried that with the new tires and they got some stuff working now. They changed the tread pattern and the new air pressure, the way they heat up. I was worried that my tires might seal over, but they held up and they gripped up. And yeah, we just at that point when the track gets that slicked out, you just got to be really smooth and hit your marks, and that's the name of the game, man. I know we had a good piece tonight, and I'm looking forward to next week. That's for sure.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Tim, you have anything to ask Cody?
Yeah, strong performance out of that 11 machine. Who do you got to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I got to thank you guys for putting on the league and also getting us somewhere to watch it back. You guys broadcasting over there, I think that's really cool. There's definitely a lack of that on the sim right now, and I think there needs to be more. So I appreciate you guys doing what you guys do. Got to thank Fubar Cannabis, sponsors in the car, Fubar Cannabis, Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett Wheeler and the gang over there. D Keef Speed, Damian Kiefer, he's always got good stuff coming out of there. Wysota Auto Racing, Trustees Spotter Service, Team NLRA, Nick Leonard Racing Association. If it wasn't for Nick, I wouldn't be where I'm at, man. And he's that's the team we run for, and he's the man. I got to thank Wheeler Esports, CNF Track Prep, XR Northern Storm, MB Customs Race Cars, Speed Ranch E-Setups, Tanner Tomasi, Caden Honeycutt over there. I'm sure there's some I'm forgetting, man. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for putting it on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for getting a word in with us here up in the booth, and we will let you go celebrate your race win.
Yeah, definitely have a couple of bush lights back in the pits tonight. Thank you guys very much.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
You too.
That was your race winner, Cody Nevin. Wow, I mean, what an event we had here tonight from Cedar Lake. Just awesome racing all throughout the night. Battles everywhere in the heats and the consolations all throughout the feature. 2-3 wide action. Couldn't have asked for a better show to bring you folks at home. Tim, you have any closing thoughts tonight?
Just a fantastic show. You know, I just action everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was a blast with the short track rivals racing. This was just race one of this brand new season here with the open setup pro late models. So plenty of more action to come. I think there's still 7 more weeks of this upcoming. Up on the channel next will be live Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have the League of Outlaws IMCA style modifieds going to be taken to the Lernerville for some racing action. So that's next up on the channel. And Monday night we have the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Cars. We'll be live there about 9 o'clock. And, of course, next week on Tuesday and Thursday, the Short Track Rivals Racing will be with the 358s and the Open Pro Lates once again. So a really good schedule of dirt track racing action upcoming here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We'd love for each and every one of you that watch tonight to join along with us on the upcoming nights that we have. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight up here in the booth from Cedar Lake Speedway. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.